Welcome to this week's episode of the Modern Sense Minute. I'm your host, Andrea Thompson. This week, I want to talk about something that comes up again and again, week after week, that I think deserves its own moment in the spotlight. What do we need to know? What's the one thing that I should tell you that you should know about retirement planning? And that is number one, understanding your cash flow is the most important input in your retirement planning. I'm not talking about your budgeting. Budgeting is different. Cash flow. So, what does that mean? What that means is understanding month to month, year to year, how much are you actually spending? And cash flow falls into two main categories. The first we call committed expenses. These are the really boring, regular expenses that do not change month to month or maybe year to year, like property taxes, rent, mortgage, etc. Probably things that you can list off the back of your napkin pretty easily. They don't bring you a lot of joy or emotion, they're just bills. And you can probably recite almost to the penny what those bills cost you every month because you see them come off of your bank account or your credit card. Those committed expenses are typically ones that will always persist and continue at your retirement unless you're downsizing your home, for example. So that's step one, committed expenses. What does that cost you? And say that that number is $3,000 a month. Great. We've got a little bit of a baseline. Now, even within that, there can be changes to your committed expenses as we approach retirement planning. So, if you have a mortgage, for example, that falls off at some point in time during your retirement, we need to know what that runway looks like. It could be that you're using less utilities at retirement because you don't have as many people in the house to contend with or to feed and shower. So understanding that certain things, even though are committed, can also go down as you lead towards retirement. The second category is spendable expenses. These are the expenses that bring us emotional gratification, that bring us joy, that bring us fun, entertainment. It actually also includes things like groceries, which, although that feels like a committed expense, can differ depending on where you go grocery shopping. So, that spendable bucket often fluctuates pretty significantly month to month or season to season, depending on maybe holidays or child activities. Or so it just depends. And really, that's not a bucket that we want to be budgeting for. That's one that just kind of fluctuates up and down. But we do want to have some awareness as to, on average, what does that spendable bucket look like for you on a yearly basis? What are things that are included in that bucket that maybe will also fall off by retirement? So, for instance, child activities, childcare, travel perhaps will increase in that bucket during retirement if you're going to be doing more traveling, or perhaps it will decrease if you're not traveling with so many people. So, really understanding and being aware of your committed and spendable expenses and what the trajectory of those look like over time will help you so much better in understanding your baseline lifestyle requirements for retirement. And I can't stress this enough. This is probably the most important input that we have when discussing retirement planning with our clients. We have to understand what that trajectory looks like, because without it, then what are we doing? We're not just replacing a salary, we're replacing a lifestyle, right? And it might be that your lifestyle does change significantly, and we have to know what that runway really looks like going forward. So if you're not using some sort of tracking app, or if you don't have a system in place for helping you understand and be aware of your cash flow, I really encourage you to look into that. There's some great ones out there. I like Monarch Money personally, but there's other ones that people like to use. Another one that I've seen other clients use is called YNAB, or You Need a Budget. A lot of people still like to use manual tracking systems, and I know there's a lot of new apps out there that I'm sure you can look into and determine what's best for you. Again, this isn't about budgeting, this is about awareness. Just being aware of what type of lifestyle that you need to replace when you get to retirement is half of the work that it takes to do retirement planning. So if you're not doing that already today and you're curious about what retirement looks like for you in the future, please get in the habit of starting to do this and try it out for 6 months. See how it goes. It will actually help to empower you as well to make future spending decisions, having better awareness of what you have been spending and what you're currently spending. So with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. But again, cash flow awareness, is nine tenths of the law when it comes to retirement planning. Everything beyond that we can figure out. But do the homework and put in the time, and I promise you, you'll get a better result with your retirement plan. Again, I'm Andrea Thompson, and this has been your weekly Modern Sense Minute.